Well, I understand double O's have a very short life expectancy.
You're a kite dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond.
Is this really what you want? Always alone?
Rick Hong here for Hollywood First Look. Today, I'm with Suttirat Larlarb, the costume designer for No Time to Die.
How was it getting this phone call?
I got a text message from Danny Boyle who said, "Can I call you?" And so, you know, if he texts and asks, call me, I find a way to extract myself from whatever I'm doing. And I called him back and he said, "Listen, I've just been approached about doing the Bond film and I've given them your name as my choice. What do you think? Would you want to do it?" He obviously, as you know, departed the project, and there was probably a couple weeks of not sure if I'm going to stay on, not because I didn't want to, but because we didn't know what the plan was. While waiting, Barbara Broccoli let me know that she and Daniel would be very happy for me to stay on. They would defer to whatever their new director, whoever that would be at that point, would want. But no, she wanted to know if I wanted to, and it all worked out, you know, that they wanted me to stay on. And so I was just crossing my fingers the whole time and it worked out.
So when you come on board, you know, what are you thinking about as a costume designer? I don't know if you go back through like just the Daniel Craig versions of the film. And I imagine, like, you know, dressing a guy like Daniel Craig, I mean, it can't be that hard. And I know that you're doing everything else as well.
Yeah. No, it's not hard in the sense of he looks great in everything. You could put a burlap sack, an old potato sack on him and he would look amazing. My first step is always the script, reading it once just to get a vibe of what it is, reading it a second time in a kind of more diligent, forensic manner where I'm breaking it down into its component parts, making lists, character lists, scene lists, you know, emotional cue lists, you know, anything that I can dig into, claw into to kind of spark the research. The research is a huge part of this process. And obviously for everything I do, whether it's film or theater or anything, I need to kind of go to my library and have many days continuously through the project where I can reference images and start to get, you know, the creative juices flowing with my colleagues, with my team, things so I can put mood boards together and have images to reference on the wall so that I can start sketching, you know, and just kind of start to synthesize everything. But with the Bond film comes this added pressure of, you know, it's a Bond film and you have to respect the history of that. And in fact, the period while we're waiting for our new director, I had me and a couple of people who were kind of working with me while we were waiting to see what was going to happen. We rewatched everything together, discussed everything, made binders of groups of like, here are all the villains in chronological order, here are all the, you know, Moneypenny. And we were making our own encyclopedic library so that we had everything at hand should we need to reference it going forward, but also that it was sort of steeped in our DNA so that if making a decision about something, you already have a kind of like subconscious understanding of maybe a direction or a history behind that kind of character or that kind of trope or whatever. And you could decide to reject it or you could decide to embrace it. So yeah, it's a kind of a long, lengthy process.
So I was really in tune when I was watching this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the only time that we see Bond as Daniel Craig wear jeans?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, I think the only other time I can think of where, and I'm not sure they're jeans, they may be like a casual khaki type trouser, is I think in his first foray when he's in Casino Royale, in that like black and white fight sequence. He's wearing casual clothing in that. And I think that, I'm not sure what the bottoms are there, but yeah, no, definitely it's unusual to see him that way. And actually the casual clothes are the thing, funnily enough, are much more character oriented in a way. I think obviously everybody expects Bond to be in his tailored, suit. And even if you're changing it from film to film, and we did change it this time around, we changed his bespoke suits a bit. The casual stuff is so much more related to the real kind of the man behind the icon, right? It's like his emotional state, it's where he's living, it's what his situation is he heartbroken, all the things that kind of I think Daniel Craig's version of Bond does so much more intensely than previous Bonds. So yeah, it's the casual stuff and the non-bespoke suit stuff is the stuff that sort of, I think, sets our film apart a little bit.
The movie is No Time to Die. You can find it in theaters now.